Picture this. It's the end of another month, and you're sitting at your kitchen table after a long day. You open your banking app on your phone, and the number staring back at you is lower than you expected. Again, you didn't buy anything extravagant. No new car, no luxury vacation, no big home renovation this time. It was just life. Groceries that somehow cost more every single trip. A few dinners out or treating the grandkids. That one online order you convinced yourself was necessary. The subscription you keep meaning to cancel. A medical copay or two. And before you know it, another few $100s have quietly slipped away without you being able to point to exactly where they went. If you're between 45 and 64, this probably feels familiar. You've worked hard for decades. You raised your family, paid the mortgage, built a career. You thought by now there would be more margin, more breathing room, more security. But inflation, unexpected family needs, rising healthcare costs, and those small repeated expenses have a way of eating into what should be your stability. Then you see the same advice online: just save more, just invest, just budget better. But if it were truly that simple, more people in your stage of life would feel financially confident. The truth is, most financial pressure at this age doesn't come from one big mistake. It comes from small money habits that have been running quietly in the background for years. Today, I'm going to walk you through 7 money mistakes that are especially common for people in midlife and beyond, and give you clear, practical steps to start fixing them this week. Not theory, real actions you can take right away. My name is Michael, and you're watching Freedom Finance Mindset, where we focus on straightforward strategies to help you build real financial security for the years ahead. Before we dive deeper, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. All right, let's get into mistake number 1. Mistake number 1. Not knowing exactly where your money is going. Most people at this stage of life believe they have a decent handle on their spending. After all, you've been running a household for decades. But research from the Federal Reserve shows that many households in their 50s underestimate their variable and discretionary spending by several $100s per month. The leaks are small and feel completely normal. An extra stop for coffee, a few takeout meals when you're tired, the streaming service you barely use, the occasional Amazon order or convenience purchase. None of them feel big enough to track. Together, they can easily total $400 to $700 every single month. Here's what that actually costs you. $500 a month in unnoticed expenses is $6,000 a year. If you redirected even half of that into a retirement account, earning a conservative 7% average return, in just 15 years, it could grow to more than $75,000. That's real money that could reduce stress or give you more options later. The problem isn't your income. For most people watching this, the problem is awareness. When you don't track, you can't improve. The fix is simpler than most people expect. For the next 7 days, track every single dollar you spend. Use a notebook, the Notes app on your phone, or the spending tools already in your bank's app. At the end of the week, group everything into 5 simple categories: housing and utilities, groceries and dining out, transportation, healthcare and insurance, and subscriptions, plus everything else. You will almost certainly spot 2 or 3 expenses you can reduce or eliminate without feeling deprived. Many people in your exact situation discover $200 to $400 in monthly savings from this one exercise. That's money you can redirect toward debt or your future self starting next month. Mistake number 2, letting your lifestyle expand every time your income increases. This one shows up constantly once people reach their peak earning years in their late 40s and 50s. You get a raise, a bonus, or finally pay off a big debt, and instead of using the extra money to strengthen your position, it quietly gets absorbed into a slightly nicer lifestyle. Maybe the car gets upgraded a little sooner than planned. Dining out increases. You help the kids or grandkids with more than you originally intended. Before long, your expenses have risen right along with your income, and you feel no further ahead than before. The trap is the thought, we've worked hard, we deserve this, and you might be able to afford it in the short term. But every dollar that goes to lifestyle inflation is a dollar that isn't growing for your retirement and isn't reducing your financial stress. The solution is to make a decision before the next increase arrives. Decide in advance that at least half of any raise, bonus, tax refund, or extra income will automatically go towards savings, investments, or debt payoff. Set up the automatic transfer the same day the money arrives so it never hits your checking account. This one habit can dramatically change what your finances look like 10 or 15 years from now without requiring extreme sacrifice. Mistake number 3. Using credit cards for regular or unexpected expenses and carrying a balance. Credit cards themselves are not the problem. When paid in full every month, they can be useful. But carrying a balance at today's average interest rates, still around 20% or higher on many cards, turns them into one of the fastest ways to lose wealth. Let's look at real numbers. A $6,000 balance on a card, charging 21% interest, paid only at the minimum each month, can take more than 20 years to clear and cost you over $8,000 in interest alone. That's money that could have gone toward your security or your family instead of the bank. At this stage of life, the cost is even higher because time is more limited. Every year you carry high-interest debt is a year your investments are not growing as fast as they could. The fix is straightforward. Commit to never charging anything you cannot pay off in full when the statement arrives. If you already have balances, choose either the debt avalanche method, pay minimums on everything but put every extra dollar toward the highest interest card first, or the debt snowball method if you need quick wins for motivation. Both work. The key is stopping new charges on cards that already have balances and paying more than the minimum every single month. Mistake number 4. Believing it's too late to start investing seriously. This may be the most expensive mistake on the list because it robs you of the time you still have. I hear it often from people in their 50s. I should have started earlier. What's the point now? But the numbers tell a different story. Let's compare two realistic situations for someone watching right now. Person A is 50 and begins investing $400 per month. Person B is also 50, but waits until age 55 to start the same $400 monthly. Assuming a realistic 7.5% average annual return, by age 65, Person A would have roughly $118,000. Person B would have about $36,000. That's an $82,000 difference from just 5 years of starting earlier. And if you're 50 or older, you may also qualify for catch-up contributions, an extra $1,000 or more per year into an IRA on top of the regular limit. That advantage grows even larger in your favor. It is not too late. But every month of delay is growth and compounding you will never recover. The fix is to open or increase contributions to a retirement account, 401k, IRA, or both, and set up automatic transfers, even if you start with just $100 or $200. Increase the amount every time you get a raise or when you become eligible for catch-up contributions. The system does the work once it's in place. Mistake number 5, not having a dedicated emergency fund. Life doesn't become less unpredictable after 45. In many ways, surprises become more frequent and more expensive. A major home repair, a health issue with a high deductible, helping an adult child through a difficult period, or supporting aging parents. Surveys consistently show that a large percentage of people approaching retirement do not have enough saved to cover even a $1,000 emergency without turning to credit cards or borrowing. Without an emergency fund, every surprise becomes a setback that can take months or years to recover from. The standard recommendation is 3 to 6 months of essential expenses in a safe account. If that feels overwhelming right now, start smaller. Set a first goal of $1,000 or $2,000. Open a separate high-yield savings account and set up an automatic transfer of $50 or $100 every payday until you hit that milestone. This single account gives you options and protects all the other progress you're making. Mistake number 6. Thinking small, consistent savings don't really matter. When retirement is on the horizon and the required numbers feel large, putting away an extra $75 or $100 a month can feel pointless. What difference will that actually make? But let's use a time frame that matters to you. Saving an extra $150 per month, starting at age 52, and continuing until 65, 13 years, at a conservative 7% average return, grows to roughly $38,000. Increase it to $300 per month, and you're looking at closer to $75,000 or more. More importantly, small, consistent savings build the habit and the proof that you can prioritize your future. When combined with the awareness from mistake number 1 and the automation we'll talk about next, those small amounts stop feeling small. Wealth at this stage is built by protecting what you have and consistently directing a portion of your income toward growth. Mistake number 7. Trying to manage your money without a simple, repeatable system. Without a clear system, money stays emotional and reactive. Bills get paid when you remember. Savings happen only when there's leftover money. Decisions get made in the moment instead of by design. It's exhausting, and it leads directly back to that Sunday night feeling of wondering where the money went. The most effective approach for most people in your situation is simple. Pay yourself first. On payday, have an automatic transfer move money to your emergency fund or investment account before it ever hits your checking account. Use a basic guideline like 50% of take-home pay for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings and debt payoff as a starting framework. Then adjust based on what your tracking revealed. Review the whole system once a quarter. That's it. Automation removes the daily battle of willpower. Your future self gets funded consistently, whether you feel motivated that particular day or not. If you've stayed with me this far, I want you to know something important. Most people are making more than one of these 7 mistakes at the same time. That's completely normal. The difference between those who build real financial security and those who don't isn't perfection. It's steady progress. You don't need to fix everything this week. In fact, trying to change too much at once usually fails. Pick the 1 or 2 mistakes that hit home the hardest and start there. Track your spending for 7 days. Open that high-yield savings account and move your first $50 into it. Increase your retirement contribution by 1%. Set up one automatic transfer. Small, consistent actions create momentum. And momentum is what turns financial anxiety into financial confidence. Here's the final thought I want to leave you with. A lot of people assume that building real security in the second half of life requires a huge income or some dramatic lifestyle change. But the people who reach retirement with genuine peace and options almost always got there through ordinary habits repeated over time, not windfalls or extreme sacrifice. Your financial future is being shaped right now by the small choices you make with every paycheck. The good news is, you can start steering it in a better direction today. If this video gave you clarity on where to focus, please hit that like button. It helps more people in your exact situation find this information. And I'm genuinely curious. Which of these 7 money mistakes is affecting you the most right now? Drop it in the comments below. Sometimes just naming it is the first real step toward changing it. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.